guests and callers are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Yeah. You listen to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kind of tired. Hey, radio play the same thing every day. So you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday, 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype. But one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go. Or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. It is May, what is it? May 1st.
May 1st. Happy Wednesday.
1st. Happy Wednesday. Well, Mckenna, you looking beautiful this evening.
So are you. It's good to see you. Looking all cheerful and positive energy. I can feel the vibes flowing. Yes. Another Wednesday. It's May 1st. Like, how did that happen?
How did it happen? If you look behind me, you see the balloons. The banner's still up because, I was celebrating until the end of April, but it still feel like it's April for me. So maybe this weekend I'll take it down. Who knows? But them balloons, they still hanging in there.
Listen, those balloons are giving you energy. So as long as they're up there, leave them be. Leave them be.
Leave them be? Okay. See, Mckenna said it, so I'm going to let it be. So, of course, MG is not going to be here tonight. He might be in the chat. He might be listening. But, we just got to keep it going. So we'll see him next week. But, Mckenna, do you have any gripe? What's going on? What's going on?
You know what's going on? It's May 1st. It's the top of the month. I don't really have a lot of gripes. My normal gripes about people and their driving. I was leaving to go run an errand before the show. And there were like two people who ran the stop sign. I was like, do we not remember the stop sign protocol? Like the first person who gets there, it's their turn first. But I yielded. I wasn't in the mood to be in an accident today. So, and then the school buses, they just seemed like they were running real late today. I saw some 6:30 buses. And maybe it's because I'm not usually outside at 6:30 in traffic, but there were a lot of buses that still had children on them at 6:30. So maybe something interesting happened, but no gripes over here. Everything is everything, and I'm just excited to be back on the show this evening and looking forward to our listeners chiming in. And what about you? Any gripes this week or last week?
Well, I really don't have any gripes. So see, Carolyn up there talking about your birthday is coming, Mckenna. Hey, look, see, that's our listeners. They know. So yes, it is Taurus season, McKenna.
It is. Thank you, Carolyn. It is. I wasn't going to say anything because Tonia was still having her moment with her balloons, but it is Taurus season. Yes.
It is Taurus season. So yes, we get to celebrate McKenna this month. So of course we're gonna try to see if she want to do a little something fun too for us for her birthday. Yes, because that's what we do. It's it's not all about me. Only in April. But guess what? It's all about all of us. So we got to make it about us. We always got to put ourselves first for everything that we do. Good evening, Nakaya. It's good to see you. Of course, Nakaya is one of our faithful listeners with Carolyn and the others. And of course, she is expecting. So hopefully she'll tell us when she is due. So we can probably even do a live little baby shower for her. She get a little registry together. I mean, we could do a lot of things at the Powerhouse. That's what we do. We like to celebrate. We're not in all that. Even though it's less gripe, we do have to gripe about things sometimes. But we also celebrate each other. That's what we are. So again, we're just gonna, look into celebrating. And when the Powerhouse Lady D birthday comes, we're just gonna do something. We're gonna celebrate everyone because that's what we do. Carolyn, she did do her 5K run for her birthday last month. That's the one I told her I was not gonna join her on, but she did do it. So congratulations to Carolyn for doing that. Whoop whoop. So you know what? Let's just do it. Whatever makes us feel good. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's on my list of things to do this year is a 5K. So I've been practicing. I've been up to 2 miles a day. And so I'm getting there. I am getting there. So my goal is to do a 5K walk, not a run. Let's be clear, a walk sometime between now and the end of the year. So I look forward to that, and then I can talk about my experience. They have a lot of 5K walks though here in Atlanta. There's like a whole list of them, which I thought was very interesting. Like every association, organization you can think of has a 5K walk. I'm used to the March of Dimes and the AIDS walk. Those are ones that I've done years ago. But there are lots of other ones. They have bubble runs. They have some kind of chocolate walk. I mean, they just have all kinds of walks. So did she say 10K in June? Go ahead, Carolyn. Carolyn said she's getting ready for a 10K in June. Listen, I'm over here on baby steps, but we support you in your 10K in June. Let us know how it goes. We'll be looking forward to hearing about that, and let us know what the 10K event is, because somebody different always sponsors these 5, 10, and 5 and 10K. So here at the Powerhouse, we like to support things, and so we'd be definitely interested in getting you ready for this 10K in June, just by our moral support. We're not going to walk with you, but we'll definitely give you a little moral support on that. So yeah, Tonia.
That's what I love, because Stephen Mckenna, you said it exactly right. We will support you. We're not going to walk, but we're going to support you. So Carolyn said, I walk them too. I'm not running from anything. I get it. But you know what? It's not a gripe for me tonight. And Carolyn, Nakaya, you guys go ahead and share the link. Let everybody join in, because we have to have this conversation. And I think, Mckenna, I believe that you may piggyback on it. But so of course, I'm proud of my age. I'm not afraid of telling anyone of my age. And men would think that I'm younger than I am, and I'm like, yes, and they're, oh, I don't like. No, I'm not one of them women that's going because you said my age or asked me. But I'm proud. I'm proud to say I'm 52, because many has not lived to see half of it, much less 52. So I'm very grateful. I'm very happy, and I thank God every day. But I realized that I'm 52, but in my head and my smile on my face, I feel younger than that. But then when I try to do certain things, I realize that I'm 52.
It's a certain level of disrespect that happens when our brain and our body are not on the same page. Like in our mind, we're going to get up, we're going to do this, and then you find yourself making noises, like that noise you make when you first get up in the morning. And then when you sat in a chair a little bit too long, you make a little bit of grunt sound when you stand up to get out of the chair. And then if you're walking up the stairs, sometimes that knee, you're not sure if it's going to hold all your weight, so you hold onto the rail. So I can relate to the body and the mind not being in the same place. You see a flyer or ad or a posting of an event, and you're thinking, oh, I would want to go to that. And then you think about, there's going to be a lot of people there. Maybe I shouldn't go to that. So we are still young in spirit, young in mind, and I think it's just an opportunity for us to be young in different spaces. Maybe I'll be young in water aerobics. Maybe that's something I'll incorporate to my life. But yeah, Tonia, I hear you when you say that sometimes your body and your mind, they're not on the same page as it relates to you feel energetic, you feel like you want to do it, and then the hip or the back or the knee, they might not agree.
And I was really fighting with myself. I was like, usually when I say I'm going to do this, I put my mind to it, I'm going to do it. And I notice it's more a little dragging. I notice it's like I'm just so okay with relaxing at home, drinking a margarita, just relaxing, listening to music, watching TV, talking to my friends on the phone, whatever. Oh, I don't really have to go out if I don't want to. But I'm like, oh, maybe I'm just in that space right now because I was always doing for others. But then I realized the other day, I was like, I don't really have that much energy about it. I'm like, just chill. And then when I see other people, I'm like, oh my goodness. I saw a picture of Vivica Fox, a video actually she was talking about, getting into the dating game. And I think they said she was 60. I was like, 60? I was like, wow. Then I was like, I'm looking at her, I was like, yeah. And I'm looking at other people as getting older. And honey, for some reason, I don't think I'm getting older, right? And I realized it's just a few days ago. Girl, you getting older too. So
the clock is ticking. The clock continues to tick. And I think the older that we get, then whatever our age is not old anymore. I remember when we were 30 and it was like 30 is the new 20. And we're like, okay, we embrace that. Like, okay, 30 is the new 20. We're out here still having a good time at 30. And then when we got 40, we're like, well, 40 is a good age. Like 40 is not old. 40 is a good age. And then, you're outside. Even yesterday I was outside and somebody was like, hey, auntie. So now we're aunties. Like everybody is, hey, auntie. Hey, I was like, hey, how y'all doing? And so I think the older that we get, because we've enjoyed our 20s and we've enjoyed our 30s and we've enjoyed our 40s, we realize we still have life to live. And the age, yes, it is a number, but it only signifies how many years we've been here. It doesn't signify how many years we have left. And we're still going to have a good time no matter what age we are. And the fun that we have now in our 50s might look different than the fun that we had in our 20s, but it's still fun to be had and life to be lived, friendships to enjoy, relationships to build, experiences to have. And I think that's one of the messages of life, that you have to find ways to enjoy it no matter how old you are, what stage you're in, whether or not you are where you thought you would be. Enjoy today, enjoy the moment. Find something every day to wake up and be thankful and grateful for, because there are dozens of people who would love to have the life that we have. People would love to trade places. People would look at your life and be like, you know what, I'll take your life. You want mine? And then when you look at their life, you're like, you know what? I'm good over here, actually. Thank you for the reminder. Not shading them, but just life sometimes gives you that mirror for you to reflect in and say, you know what, I need to just have a good time and enjoy it, and stop comparing yourself to other people. Social media sometimes will get us in a space where we feel unaccomplished. But who says that our journey is supposed to look like somebody else's? I was listening to a lady today, and she made a real impactful comment. She said that she doesn't believe that we have to walk into our purpose. She said she believes that we are purposeful, and every day we're living in our purpose. And so you don't walk into it, you just exude it. So when you encounter somebody, when you speak, when you say good morning, you're in your purpose. And so don't wait to walk into it. Live your purpose intentionally every day. Even if you don't know your destination, put your chin up and your shoulders back and walk confident, and be encouraged and allow other people to encourage you. So as far as that body and the mind, we just have to, our mind has to tell our body what to do sometimes. So when you're walking up those stairs, You have to talk to that knee. Come on, knee. We got to get up these stairs now. We have to get up these stairs. We might go a little slower and let people pass us by, but we still have to get to the top of the stairs. So this is where I am in my journey. I talk to my body parts. Good morning, knees. Come on, I need y'all today. I got to get down these stairs and up these stairs. I need y'all.
Well, I think that's what I need to do now, because it's a lot. I smile about it, but it's reality. I'm like, you look at everyone and you're like, oh my goodness, Vivica Fox, sexy. She's up there. She's getting up there. And I'm like, and it's just like, I'm sitting, I don't even know. I can't even tell you like the age that I think my mind think I am. I really don't pay attention, but it's one of those things that getting used to, and I guess, but I'm not going to make the age make me like, okay, well, I'm getting older, so it's okay for me to be old and grumpy, because it's not going to happen, because I'm going to be with my, if I have to use a walker, if I have to use a cane when I get older, it's going to still be cute. I remember before I had knee replacement, I had to use my cane. I mean, people at work used to laugh at me. They was like, oh my gosh, Tonia, you literally walking and switching with the cane. And I don't switch without a cane. So it's amazing to see me using a cane and I'm switching. I guess I'm making it look cute, and really didn't know that I was doing it, but I was like, okay. So I guess the same thing. Karen said, I agree with Mckenna. The mind say one thing and the body disagree. LOL, that's me. I guess we are all going through it. But, like Mckenna said, just embrace it. Embrace it. And Mckenna, I'm definitely going to take your advice. I'm going to talk to the knees and everything else, because I notice it. Sometimes I'm sitting down and I feel like I want to take a nap. I'm like, I'm too young to be taking a nap. I'm too young. When babies
take the nap.
Take a nap at a certain age.
Take the nap. It's okay. Listen to your body. If your body says, I need a nap, take a 15, 20. I set alarms and I will take a 20-minute nap. My body's feeling fatigued. I will set me an alarm, 20, 25 minutes, take a little nap, wake up, drink me some water, and do what I need to do. So listen to your body now. Don't reject the nap. If you need the nap, take the nap. It's okay. Then you'll have energy for later. You might have something to do. You might need to take that nap first.
Right. Because here's a funny thing. I even said it last month. Nakaya said, yes, bring your cane or your walker out and be fabulous. So I was with my mom and my aunt like about last month. And I remember watching both of them using their cane, because of course they both had knee replacement. And I was just watching them and I'm like, tag, I wonder when I get their age. But guess what I thought about? I thought about it when I'm their age, which they're in their 70s, would I still be having sex? I don't know. I think I will, though. I think I will.
Well, what I'll say is that there are, I'm from Florida, and there are lots of what they call active retirement communities. And those people in these active retirement communities are very active. They'll go down there, they'll be divorced or widowed, and they'll meet somebody. I mean, they have dating sites for people in, what's the name? I don't even remember. Dating sites for people in their 60s and 70s. So I think if you have a partner that you are both, healthy and viral and capable of exploring ways to satisfy each other's needs, whether it's, physically or emotionally or sexually, I think that you will explore all those opportunities, and you might even we might even have a show on, ways to stimulate your partner at 70. Like, I mean, listen.
I know. Look, Carolyn said, I will for sure. I know she's an Aries. It's like, I believe so. And I believe that's why I will be married. And most likely, I'll probably have to think about this age thing. He might have to be about 10 years younger than me. I mean, I'm just saying, because at least I'll be older. Because what we said about we really, we could still roll. I mean, they got stuff at the store for us for moisturize So we just need the 10-year younger kind of thing to kind of hold us up. But I'm not gonna let it stop me. But it's just kind of amazing how the things you never thought about when you were in your 30s and even 40s. And it's like after you touch that 50, you start thinking about it like, hmm.
Like, will the desire be there? Like, because your mind and your body change. So I think it's like exercise. Like if you it's like memory. The more you use something, then but when you stop using something, then you forget about it or you lose it. So I think it's like any skill set that we have, like riding a bicycle. Like if we stop riding the bicycle, we might not have confidence that we can get back on the bicycle and ride it. So I think that if it's something that you're thinking about now, just maintain that libido, and once, yeah, like these are good conversations to have. Somebody chime in. What do y'all think?
Yes, Carolyn. Are you guys sharing? And yes, remember, go ahead and like and share, because you know what, we just getting real, because I mean that's what it is. You're getting older. You talk about things that is irrelevant, that is relevant to what the things that we do every day. Because I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and we were saying it, and she was like, "Well," I said, "I don't know. I've been feeling some type of way." So Kim Kim says, "Lady, sorry I'm late. Happy Wednesday. It's May 1st. My dad is 82 today. Praise God, Tonia. I see your birthday
Happy
decoration loaded
birthday,
up."
Daddy.
Happy birthday, Daddy. Tell Dad I said hello, Kim. After the show, I'm definitely going to give you a call so I can give him a shout out, a happy birthday shout out, and many, many more. Kim, you just came in. And that's what we were just talking about aging. And I was saying that, my mind makes, I'm feeling like I'm so young, but my body telling me something different. So we are talking about the age thing. And Kim's dad, he does not look 82. He looks so good. If you saw him on the street, you would think he's probably about 65. He looks really good for his age, and he moves around well. So, praying that that could be me in the future. And Kim, just wish him the very, very best birthday that he can have, and many, many more, and stay healthy. Because that's what it is about. So he is a Taurus. So happy Taurus. So yes, Tori's rule is mine. Yes. And also Nakaya, her son, let's see, what did I see? Her son turns 5 this month as well. He's a Taurus on May 12th. So Nakaya, yes, happy birthday. Okay. It's okay, Taurus. You guys up there, we're gonna see. We're gonna see if the Taurus outdo the Aries. I don't think so, but y'all right neck and neck. So Mckenna, I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and of course, she's also listening to the show. And she even said what you said. Oh my goodness, I lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's gonna come back to me. Also, we got Samir. And y'all forgive me because I do I'm biased when it comes to my birthday. Samir is my grandson. He'll be 15 May 11th. I didn't remember, y'all. Don't say nothing to me. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So so yes, also good news. So of course the election is coming up May 21st in Georgia. Different counties there have commissioners. We're voting for different state laws. One of them, I did early voting, because early voting is now until I think the 7th. Asha, let me know exactly when early voting ends. So I was actually passing. I was like, oh, vote. So I stopped and I went and vote. And on the voting ballot, they have, if Georgia should appeal the new abortion law that I think it took effect today, that if the fetus is like, if it's like 6 weeks or something like that, it's considered a human or something. I forgot the exact wording, but they have it on it. So if you don't plan to vote, please vote, because you can go and vote for that to tell them to appeal it. The Roe versus Wade versus Roe. Okay, so early voting started April 29th. It ends May 17th. But they have some interesting things on the ballot regarding property tax. It's just a lot of things that they have on it. So guys in Georgia, go vote. Go look at the ballot. There are some things on it that we really need to have them talk about. They even have tax. One of the tax thing that I saw on the ballot was, should Georgia stop using the money that was given for public school to private school? But I don't know how you give money to private school if it was for the public school. I couldn't understand that. So you guys go vote. Take a look at the ballot. There's some interesting things that is on the ballot, and plus who are running for re-election in your county.
Mm-hmm. And then also, if you have seniors that are graduating from high school that are turning 18, remind them to go ahead and get registered to vote. Do it early, and that way they'll be ready to vote, maybe not in this May 21st election, but definitely in the fall. So it's just a good reminder that, yes, you're an adult now on paper, so please go register to vote if you have any students that are turning 18.
And also, you can also send us an email at letsgripe@gmail.com to give some graduates some shout outs, birthday shout outs, wedding anniversary shout out, even condolences as well. It's something that we do here normally. We used to do it a lot. So we're going to try to kick it up back where we get to do those different shout outs because everyone, good day or good announcement or good deeds is definitely deserve a shout out. Mckenna, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and she says she doesn't think she's going to vote because who's on the ballot for president? She doesn't want to vote for either. What'd you take of that?
So she's not alone in that thought. There are a lot of people out there who don't prefer either candidate and are struggling with should they even participate, in this election this time around because they don't support either candidate. And I think that because we have a two-party system, it puts us in a predicament where at times there will be people who abstain from voting because they don't prefer either candidate. And I think that it's their right to abstain, but I also think that, there were so many people who fought for us to have the right to vote that I think that participating in the process, even though you don't prefer one candidate over the other, is more important than abstaining. And this is just, our opinion, my opinion here. Because when we don't use just like what we talked about exercise, if we don't exercise, then what happens to our body? It deteriorates. If we don't, if we used to paint and then we stop painting, then we lose the ability to be able to paint. So being able to vote, we can see how over the past 8-9 years, there have been attempts to keep people from voting or spreading misinformation about fake votes and people who won the election who didn't actually win. So I think to decide not to vote is something that I hope that person reconsiders, and I hope that person will take some time and maybe go back and read about the voting laws and how they used to be and how women weren't able to vote. If you weren't a property owner, you couldn't vote. And so, where this process in our history, our American history has come from. And even if you go and write your name in the ballot, or maybe write in the name of somebody that you would prefer to be president, that's still you exercising your right to have your voice heard. So I think participating in the process is important. You just gave a good example about, what's on the ballot. We don't often know all the things that are on the ballot if we don't do the research ahead of time. And sometimes we just think one thing is going to be on the ballot and we don't know until we get there. And then when we get there, that's, it's a surprise to us. But what we're supposed to do is what you just did, share that with somebody else so that the next person can, pull up the sample ballot, look at it and do some research on some of the other things that are less talked about but end up on the ballot. And so I just encourage people to, do a little research, do their diligence, and find a way to support the process. Maybe you don't vote, but maybe you volunteer to be a poll worker. Maybe you don't vote this year, but maybe you volunteer to take seniors to the polls. Like, do something that is part of the process. I think that would be my feedback to the person who is really struggling with the two choices that potentially will be on the ballot for November.
So yes, as far as the voting, I'm going to vote, of course. And hopefully, we do know, whoever wins, I would say, they don't get to run another term. That's one. Number two is that we can look forward for the next 4 years. It is definitely going to be someone else. So it's just getting to know who our city leaders, the state representative, and maybe, who knows, someone may just step out and that can really do it. Because I heard a few people were saying they were hoping that Oprah would run. And I was like, but I don't think Oprah would want to be in that, and, consume her life with that. But, speaking of Oprah, she's 70 years old. Wow. Time has flown.
And still working.
And still working, moving around.
70, she's still working. I mean, she has different projects that she works on, but in essence, she's still working. And that's a conversation I had with someone recently. Like, at what age are we going to retire? There are a lot of 70-year-olds that are still working, some by choice and some by necessity. So that's, we talked about, our body and our mind. We talked about, a little bit about what our sex life is going to be at 70, but also, are we going to still be working at 70? And if we are, is it going to be by choice because we just want to work? Or is it going to be out of necessity because we can't afford not to work? So these are things that are, these are things that we talk about as the number increases on the dial and as the calendar pages turn. These are some conversations that we have with ourselves in our inner circles. And, what is our plan for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and 25 years? Do we want to stay in our same home? Do we want to move? Is there that one place that we never got to that we're going to try to get to? I saw some people who have moved to Ghana and who have retired and moved to Ghana and built houses in Ghana and are very happy about being able to retire in another country. And I was like, would I want to live in another country in my retirement, whether it be South America, Central America, or Africa? So yeah, just things to think about.
I definitely said that I definitely want to retire when I'm 60. If I'm doing anything, it's going to definitely be something that I love and, nothing tedious, nothing that I have to, not that I have to work at 60. So definitely planning accordingly. I did realize maybe about a few months ago, I'm like, Mckenna, you know me with my purses and, there's different things. And now it's like, I'm getting older. So I just decided the other day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start giving away stuff to people that I know that would appreciate it and love it. Because something happened, people coming around who didn't give 2 cents about me. Can I get this? Can I get that? So I decided, I was like, all of that is overrated now. So you really get to tell the difference when you're younger and when you're older. Certain thing, it doesn't matter anymore. It's not that serious anymore. And I'm realizing that I'm right now really working, taking care of home, but I also want to travel. That is like the key. I've always traveled. I love traveling, but it's like that's like the goal. I just want to travel different places. And I mean like 3 good trips for the year. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. That's maybe about say, that's money for 2, 3 purses a year, I'm just saying. And have the pictures to show from the vacation. But really and truly, it goes right back to just living it to the fullest and being happy and enjoying every moment of it, because we do know what happened. We definitely got to send our condolences out to the family of the 4 officers who lost their life this week. It was actually 1 officer in North Carolina and 3 U.S. Marshals. They went to serve a warrant on Monday. And Mr. Hughes was like, I'm not going back to prison. And he came out like he was Bonnie. Clyde, because Bonnie was a woman, so Clyde. Came out like Clyde, just shooting. And in that shootout, he ended up losing his life as well. But 3 U.S. Marshals died and 1 North Carolina officer died. So our condolences go out to the family. And of course to the family of Mr. Hughes too. On social media, there was a lot of Black men really praising the criminal, because he had so many. I mean, they was just praising him. Yeah, it was. I was like, what? Yeah, because he went out like that. But it's not cute. He was being served a warrant for a felon, possession of firearm, and some other charges. And the same warrant. And look, he ended up killing 4 people. And there were people on social media praising him. Again, how do you praise someone that takes someone's life?
That's very disturbing, and the mindset that people portray when things like this happen, it is disturbing, because this man took somebody else's life because of things that he did and didn't want to accept responsibility for. And I think we're living in a society where people don't want to accept responsibility for things that they've done. And we have an example, all over the news, who is still violating gag orders, even though you've been told numerous times to not speak about this. And so I'm not sure how we have gravitated to a place where people don't want to be accountable, and they want to avoid the consequences of their actions. And then other people look at that saying, yeah, me too. I want to avoid the consequences of my actions. And I'm going to support you for avoiding the consequences of your actions, as if what he did was heroic or masculine, or worthy of some type of acknowledgement. No, he killed some. That could have been your brother or your uncle or your father, that he killed. They were doing their job. They went to execute a warrant because of something that he did. So it's just disturbing. It's disturbing that I don't even know if it's that people speak out of turn or people don't think about the picture all the way through. And it's not a video game. These are real guns. This is not a music video. This is not a rap song. This is reality. This is somebody's life, who had families. Somebody expected somebody to come home for dinner. Somebody expected somebody to go to graduation in a couple of weeks. Somebody expected somebody to come home and watch the NBA playoffs, and they're not going to make it home. And so, our hearts go out to the families on both sides, because even if you have a family who has been incarcerated, and many of us have family members who have been incarcerated, you still love the part of them that's not incarcerated, and you still pray and hope for their rehabilitation, that they make different choices in life. And sometimes you have to love those family members from a distance because they don't change and they don't decide to make different decisions and become good citizens. And it's tough, it's tough when you have those family members because people are kind of looking over their shoulder like they don't know what to say to you. And I mean, I can't blame you because of somebody else's choice. I know that that's your family member. So, we're upset with what your family member did. You're probably upset with what your family did. So it's difficult to show support, but we still have to find a way to have a humane and a compassionate interaction with people who are grieving different losses versus glorifying somebody who takes somebody else's life. It's just disappointing to hear that people were responding that way.
When I was reading it, I was just like, okay, regardless of what, there are people who definitely don't like police officers, and we know that there are some good ones, and we definitely know there are some bad ones. But outside of that, that's like you said, that's someone's son, brothers, etc. So they're human as well. And 9 times out of 10, the ones them that are getting killed are usually the good ones. So you keep killing the good ones, and it's just only going to be the bad ones left. So I didn't get any. It was disturbing, as you said. I just couldn't believe how people are, and that's just to show you the people that we're amongst. So we just have to be able to sniff them out and kind of stay far from them. So definitely to the family, definitely sending our condolences to them as well. We do know that summer is coming. It's going to be hot. I believe it's going to be a very hot summer because in April, we were getting some 80 degrees. I think even Monday, we was up to 82 degrees in Atlanta.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tonia. I think that it's going to be a very hot summer because we haven't had a super hot summer in a couple of years. Last summer was warm, but it wasn't super hot. And I think that people are, we talked about all the concerts that are here. Everybody is in concert and there are festivals and there's lots of things to do. So if you haven't done anything in a while, make your little list and go outside and enjoy life. Find a festival, find a concert. If you're a concert person, go outside and do something that, makes you smile. If you pick up a bicycle because you haven't ridden your bicycle in a while, if you go to the park and walk around the park, find something to do outside. It's something about being outside and connected to the nature and earth. It's pollen season is kind of like weaning itself out. So we should be, on our everyday allergy medicine and should be okay now. But you see people outside walking their dogs. Every time I drive back home, all the kids are outside playing. The neighbors have these little slow down signs, which I think are so cute. They have the little slow down, kids are playing signs. So they put them like all in front of their driveways. So every time I come around the corner, I make sure I slow down. But go outside. Everybody needs to be outside. Make sure you go outside every week. And not just the Publix and Walmart and Kroger. Go outside. Go find something to do. Go outside and sit outside on the patio and have some lunch. Go outside. Do something. Walk to your mailbox and back. If you have a backyard, go in your backyard. But go outside. Get connected with nature. It gives you energy. It's just amazing. Just like watching the birds and the squirrels play. It's the most entertaining and amusing thing. I think that we don't spend enough time in nature sometimes because we're preoccupied with social media, with the news, what's going on. But if we sit outside and just observe what the Creator has made, And we just remember, look at what he made. Even the trees, how tall they are, the different types of plants and vegetations. You know, you look at a little bug and you're like, I wonder what that bug is called. I don't know what it is. It's over there. It's not bothering me, but it's interesting looking. And so this is the time of year that I encourage people to go outside. We talk about mental health, and one thing that we can do to improve our mental health is to be outside. For most people, you know, there's always the exception, but for most people, when you're outside, you're like, okay, you run and you see, you know, like even this weekend, I went to Marietta randomly because Marietta, there's no reason for me to be in Marietta, but a friend and I, we were looking for somewhere to go to have some lunch, late lunch. And she said, let's go to a food hall. And I said, okay. So we've been to the food hall in Chattanooga. And I said, let's see if we can find somewhere different. Well, who knew? Marietta Square, they have a little food hall. So we went in the food hall and they have different vendors. And it was a beautiful day. So there were a lot of people that were outside. And so we walked down the street because we saw some activity and they were having like Taste of Marietta or something. And everybody just looked so calm and relaxed and enjoyable, like they were just having a good time. They had dogs and kids were just running around and having a good time. And so we realized in those spaces that we're more alike than we are different. You know, that same person who was getting on your nerves at work, if they went outside more often, they might be a little bit more relaxed and able to focus and less stressed out about things. And so I just encourage people to just smell the roses, right? Smell the roses. If you want to do it and nobody wants to do it with you, go by yourself. It's okay. Maybe you want to take a pottery class and make some little pottery. Nobody wants to go with you. Go by yourself. There'll be other people in that class that you will vibe off of and help you make your little sculpture. If you want to go, they have sushi making classes. They have sip and paints. They have candle making classes. There's a wine place where you can go learn how to make wine. Like we live in a metro city, so enjoy it.
Well, guess what I decided to start doing? Golfing. Yes, I bought me a whole golf set, my sneakers, my sun visor, my gloves. I'm just waiting.
You got an outfit? Do you have an outfit?
Not yet, because I saw a cute little dress.
Okay.
But I'm going to get one. So, yes, thank you for reminding me because I got to go and check and see if it's back in stock. But, yes, the outfit is coming too. But, yes, I'm ready. I wanted to start it last month. But because of the pollen, definitely couldn't do it March and April. But May, because it is calming down, I'm going to be out there. And Mckenna, you're welcome to join me. Andrew G., she already got a golf set, so she's like, let me know. So, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be golfing. My son, he's a golfer anyway. So, I know the beginning stage of it and everything, but I decided to do it. And I'm going to do it. That's going to be my getting out.
So, next year, what I want to hear is that you're going to participate in a golf tournament. And a lot of the HBCUs and fraternities and sororities have golf tournaments as fundraisers. And so they're always looking for female golfers to participate. So usually it's, $100 you go and you golf and they have snacks and refreshments and, the proceeds go to the scholarship fund or, it's mostly scholarship funds. But I think that after next, you do it this year, after next year, you'll be ready to go and participate in a golf tournament. Because a lot of times it's male golfers, but they are always looking for female golfers to participate in these golf tournaments. So it's
yes,
fun.
I'm going to put my mind towards it. It is going to work. Hello, good evening, Sophia. She says, LOL, goals. Yes. So I am definitely going to and even get a golf instructor. I'm going to do that, just get, because I'm a lefty, so I'm a little special. So I got to get a little, even finding my golf set. We'll talk about that in another show when I start telling you how, the 18 hole that I did, right? But I'm excited. So I'm definitely going to do that. And like you said, one thing I've learned to do is to do things by myself, because there's many times for years I wanted to try a different restaurant. I wanted to go see a certain movie, and people, my friends, your significant other, no one was available. Oh, I don't want to see that, etc., etc. So I started to go by myself. I will go eat out by myself. I will go to the movies by myself. And I end up doing it, and I love it. Oh, thank you for listening from work. Thank you, Sophia. I even went to Bahamas, to all-inclusive, adult-only resort by myself. I had a good time. And no complaints, because the simple fact is that why wait for someone to go with you or to do something with you? And my motto is, because I was not born as a twin, I was born by myself. I could do it by myself. Of course, I would love the company to go to dinner, go to the theater, go on a trip. But I do it by myself. Sophia, I definitely will. I will send you that information once I finish the show. And when I first went to the hotel, real quick, it was adult only, so it was mostly couples I saw. I saw mostly couple. I don't even think I seen girls. During the time I went. At first I was like, I don't want nobody to think that I'm here. I was just kind of a little nervous, but like the first day I was over it. And I would get up, get dressed, and go get something to eat. I would go to the bar. I would go to outside I just did whatever, went to the nightclub, sitting there drinking my drink. I did it because it's something that I needed to do for me. Will I do it again? Yes, I will. I will do it again. Because it's okay that someone is not available to go. I won't do like Asia and those places by myself. Don't even speak those languages. But I would go to an English country. I would do it because I have accepted the fact that sometimes you have to do things by yourself. And have you ever traveled by yourself, Mckenna?
I actually have, one time on purpose and one time on accident. So years ago, I was going to Las Vegas, and one of my friends was supposed to meet me at the airport, and we were supposed to go together. And so I get to the airport. Well, actually, yeah, I get to the airport and she's nowhere to be found. I was like, okay. So I text her like, hey, are you coming? She didn't respond. So, the flight's about to board. So by this time, an hour went by, flight's about to board. And I said, I'm about to get on this plane because I'm here already. So I get on the plane, I go to Vegas, I hang out in Vegas, I have a good time. I walk down the strip, I go get on the Ferris wheel. I just had a good old time. And they were like, you went? And I was like, yeah, I actually did go. One year I wanted to go to Taste of Chicago. It's like a big food festival. We have Taste of Atlanta here. And this was some years ago, and nobody wanted to go. I was like, oh, okay. So I went by myself, went down to the Taste, got me some tickets. I was like, okay, how does this work? I followed the people on the train, went down to the park, got in. It was like this big park. And I said, okay, let me just slow down. So I figured out you have to go buy tickets. And then when you buy your tickets, you can go and, different things are different tickets. So this was back when they had tickets. I don't know how they do it now. And so in the beginning, you have a little hesitation or irritation. Like, I can't believe nobody wanted to go to Taste of Chicago. And this was, 10, 12 years ago. I can't believe nobody wanted to go to Vegas or they didn't show up. But then after that, you just relax And it really is a good exercise of getting to know yourself and who you are. Do you have confidence in yourself? Do you enjoy being around yourself? Do you like yourself? Do you know yourself? Like if you don't know these things about you, traveling by yourself or doing even going to dinner by yourself is kind of an overwhelming thought, which means maybe you need to spend a little time with yourself. But when you can get dressed and go and have a good time and just enjoy being with yourself, it's it's a very mature place to be, and it's a blessing to be able to enjoy your own company. Now, of course, safety and things like that you pay attention to. The same things that you would do, like if you went somewhere with other people, you're still going to pay attention to your surroundings and your environment. And so, yes, it's fun to travel with people, and I do prefer to travel with others. But if I needed a trip and nobody wanted to go, could I go by myself? At least I know that I could do it because the first time that it happened, it just kind of happened by accident. But it gave me that confidence to say, you know, there are plenty of things that you can do by yourself. You go grocery shopping by yourself. You go fill up your gas tank by yourself. There's lots of things that we do already by ourselves. This is just an extension of that. You know, even for people who live with other people, there are times when you have dinner by yourself because that other person or those other people are busy or working or, doing other things. And so it's a similar experience. You're comfortable in your own home having dinner by yourself when those other people aren't there. Then just be comfortable, at the restaurant, and enjoy your food. So it's not for everybody, but I think that everybody has an opportunity to learn to enjoy themselves, whether they are learning to golf, by themselves, and or whether they do something, as adventurous as hop on a plane and go to, a Caribbean island and stay in an all-inclusive resort. There's levels to everything, and so we're just encouraging people to, do things that you enjoy, and because time, like the calendar and the clock, keep on ticking. And so if we're always here waiting on other people, you're going to be 70 looking back like, man, I wish I had gone. I wish I would have went to the Bahamas by myself. I've always wanted to go and never made it. So do it while your knees still work. Don't wait, do it while your knees still work, because there will be a time where your knees, they might not let you walk 2-3 miles, down that Vegas strip and back.
So real quick, Sophia said, we kind of mute this feedback. Thank you. So Sophia says, I love my company. I agree with you. I love my company as well. She says also her coworker and cousin informed of groups for single travelers. Yes, there are some single travel groups out here that if you want to travel, you can travel with them. But sometimes, you don't know how you and someone else will get along, your personality. So I can either travel with my girls or my family or by myself. I'm good with that instead of total stranger. But one of the things that I realize is that when you just put your mind to do something, you're going to do it. And then you're like, I'm so glad that I did it, and you do it without no regrets. And that's the thing that I love with it. When we have those choices, you get to do things that you want to do, and you shouldn't put off what you can do today for tomorrow, because tomorrow's not promised. You might not even be in the same mind frame. You might not be in the same financial situation. So you do the best that you can do with what you have. A lot of times when it comes to traveling, I always look for, go with friends and family that I know that we're going to have a good time. Don't want to travel with a Debbie Downer. That is the worst thing to do, traveling with someone who is a Debbie Downer, because it will make that trip be the worst trip you ever went on. So if you have a friend or family member that is a Debbie Downer, leave them home. Don't take them with you, because it's going to be a waste of time. You know who you can travel with, because the personalities. I think when we went to Bahamas a few years ago, we met a couple, and we exchange numbers, and we're on WhatsApp. We'll text, here and there, hello, how you doing? But you just hit it off with people when you go, so you meet new people traveling. And for people who want to travel, but is probably afraid to travel, don't know where, always start small. You can even go like in the state. If you're not a traveler, I wouldn't suggest your first trip being out the country. Start state to state. And then as you get used to it and you start loving it and feeling, okay, I could do this, then you can outskirt. But until then, just start small. Just like, when first time I went to the theater by myself, I actually went during matinee. Not a lot of people gonna be there, so I'm have to be like, they looking at me like, oh, she here by herself. So you can't, and then I was like, I like this. I like this. It's not a lot of people and, etc. whatever. So it was fun for me, and I would go, and it was just like a regular thing, like maybe every 2 weeks I was up at the matinee, and nobody know that I had my own little time. So again, whatever you do, make time for yourself, because we're always taking care of others. Before we go real quick, DJ, I think it's a DJ Mr. Ice. He was a big DJ from New York. He passed away. I saw a clip where Busta Rhymes was speaking at his service, and he was saying he's upset with him because he didn't take care of his self the way he took care of others. I was like, ouch. You see what I'm saying?
That's a good note. That's a good note to end on. Make sure that you are taking as good a care of yourself as you are of other people.
On that note,
this
is Tonia saying, see you next Wednesday.
And this is Mckenna saying, go outside.
And have
good
fun.
Night, everybody.
Good night. So remember, don't forget to click on the like button, share, tell a friend, and subscribe. So next week we're here. So tomorrow we have Reasoning Thursday, that is 8 to 10. And then Saturday we have the Lady D show, 12 to 4 p.m. Listen, I told y'all, if y'all doing the house cleaning up, y'all need to put it on the powerhouseradio.com, because I'm talking about you will be cleaning, jamming, everything. Okay, so don't forget the Powerhouse Radio and Let's Gripe saying good night. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Good night.
Listen to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kinda tired. Hey, radio play the same thing every day, so you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go, or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9. Let's gripe. 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 Let's gripe.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.